Hi there everybody and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel, your number one place for all Newcastle United news. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, if you do enjoy the show today, please do give it the thumbs up. And if you're new and you like what you see, why not subscribe? It is free to do so. But don't forget to hit that notification bell, which will also let you know when we schedule any live shows or we do any uploads such as this one. Now, Newcastle are in the news yet again today for possibly the right reasons this time. We are looking at a Turkish Wonderkid. Pete Graves has come out and said that it could be a centre-back that Newcastle look to sell. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe has spoken very highly of third-choice goalkeeper Mark Gillespie. And we have struck a partnership deal with New Era Headwear, who are massive in America, but we'll talk about that later on in the show. But I'm going to start off with the Turkish Wonderkid, who is currently at Besiktas. He goes by the name of Semih Kılıçsoy. May well be pronounced different, but that's the way I've took it. Now, this guy is a real talent and a real star in Turkey. He's an upcoming star, very, very highly rated amongst the Turkish clubs, but very, very highly rated across not just England, but across European football as well. This kid is wanted by a lot of clubs. So when I say Newcastle United are interested, they will have a very, very difficult job in getting him. Because I'm talking about the big boys of European football. We're talking the Barcelonas, the PSGs, the Bayern Munichs, Real Madrids, Manchester City, Man United, all the top English clubs. Everybody has expressed an interest in this kid. Now, this season, he made 35 appearances with 12 goals and 3 assists. So he's had a very, very good season for an 18-year-old kid. Now, I can see why they're calling him a wonder kid, because players like this don't come along that often. But the good news is that Besiktas have apparently only valued him at 22 million quid. Now, I say only, but if you look at how much maybe an 18-year-old English wonder kid would be, you're probably looking at double that to bring him into the football club. So 22 million quid, I think, is a fantastic price for this guy. Go and watch him on YouTube, guys. He really is a talent. I know YouTube isn't the be-all and end-all of looking and scouting players, but this kid is talented. Now, what I will say is he's also played across the front three. So he's played as a striker, he's played on the right, and he's played on the left. Now, for us, we don't really need a left-handed sided player this time. I think we're being linked with far too many left-sided forwards in recent weeks anyway. So I think we should maybe try and move to the right-hand side or up front. So this kid could actually play on the right-hand side. Now, given his age, a lot of speculation that if Newcastle were to get him, they'd probably loan him out again just to get him ready for the Premier League. Now, whether he's good enough to jump straight into the Premier League, we don't know. We know how different the Premier League is to any league across Europe. It's completely different. The physicality, the pace of it. So we'd have to nurture this kid a lot. Eddie Howe, for me, the perfect man to nurture him. So let's just see how that one plays out. But like I say, if we get this kid, then it's a remarkable achievement from Newcastle United, because the real big hitters are in for this guy. And I'm not surprised, because, wonder kids don't come along too often. You always get press bigging players up, obviously. However, these kind of wonder kids, they come along once in a generation. And this guy, there is a reason why all the massive clubs across Europe are looking at him, put it that way. So keep your eye on it. It may well develop, but it may well not, because he may well just choose to go to one of the big boys, who will probably loan him out. Anyway, moving on. Pete Graves has been chatting on the Sky Transfer podcast show and mentioned Newcastle United and obviously the situation with Bruno and Isak, etc. But Graves believes that it may be Sven Botman that Newcastle United could end up cashing in on. Now, Botman obviously is a 24-year-old. He's still got a lot of time on his hands. He's an international now. Obviously, he's got this injury till Christmas. So I don't know if any team would actually come in for Sven Botman in the summer, knowing that he's not going to be able to play for half the season. I think that would be a very strange one for me. That's the reason why I'm finding these comments a little bit on the weird side, because I can understand where he's coming from if Botman was fit. Bringing in Tosin and bringing in Kelly, that might enable Newcastle to let Botman go rather than the real blue chip figures of Bruno or Isak. How much they could get for Botman, I'm not quite sure. It would be a decent fee, put it that way. But I'm not sure any club's going to go in for Sven Botman when he's got such a serious injury, because we don't know how he's going to come back on the end of this. When he came back during the season, of course, he didn't look the same player. He was still injured. Let's be honest. And he never really returned to the form that we saw when he first came to the club. This guy could get a massive transfer fee, there's no doubt about that, but it's the injury that worries me if we try and sort of sell him when he's not going to be able to play till December, January. But as I say, Pete Graves believes that would enable Newcastle then to keep Isak and Bruno. But the problem is with the Bruno situation, and I mentioned this time after time after time, is the release clause. We're going to be moving into June very shortly, the final month of the release clause. It ends on June the 30th. We know that there's some big clubs interested in him. I said yesterday that PSG had sort of become the front runners to sign him, if you like, because of the money that they could probably offer him. Let's be fair. A lot more than what Newcastle United could. But Newcastle United sold the dream to him when he moved here from Lyon in the first place, and I believe he still wants that dream. So, again, very interesting though, isn't it? Botman's never been mentioned as a player that Newcastle United could possibly look at selling. But I don't believe that there's a club in the world would come in for him at the minute this summer when he's got such a serious injury, because we really don't know how he's going to respond once he's fit again. Now, on another player, Eddie Howe has spoken about Mark Gillespie, and these comments, I laughed, and I don't know whether I should have laughed or not, or whether it was a sarcastic laugh or not, guys, because, he's praised Mark Gillespie after giving him a 1-year contract extension. He said his attitude and work rate in training is absolutely brilliant. Now, nobody's actually denying that he obviously works very hard in training. His attitude is brilliant. However, he's not a great goalkeeper. And let's be honest, the times that he has played for us, he's looked woeful. He looked woeful in the All-Star game. Some of them shots he should have saved. Some of the passes out that he was making, it was horrendous. He came off his line once, was nowhere near the ball. He's just not a good goalkeeper. He may be a wonderful person in real life. I'm not denying that. He may be a lovely personality and a very hard worker. But my God, he's not a good goalkeeper. Certainly not up to the levels that we're looking at. God forbid if he was our third goalkeeper next season and both our 1 and 2s got injured and we were relying on Mark Gillespie, we wouldn't be anywhere near the top of the table, which we're hoping to be next season with everybody fit. We just wouldn't. Not with a goalkeeper like Mark Gillespie. And I'm only saying about his footballing abilities. Like I say, Eddie Howe says he characterises success. Now, I don't understand where he's coming from. How he can he characterises success, but he never plays a single bloody game. And when he does, he's woeful. So it's a very strange comment to make, but maybe he's just making it because he has to, put out some sort of message to the fans as to why this goalkeeper has been given a year's extension. Because as far as from where I'm coming from, I have no idea why he's been given an extension. I think it's a mistake to do so because, look, for me, there'll be goalkeepers coming through our academy who are way, way better than Mark Gillespie. But, we spoke about Gillespie on the live shows many, many times, and none of us can understand how he's still there. None of us can. It's a real strange one. However, we finish on good news, guys, because it's been announced this morning that Newcastle have partnered with New Era Headwear. Now, New Era Headwear, if you don't know who they are massive in America. With caps for NFL, baseball, ice hockey, NBA, and things like that. They are brilliant, and they are a real global brand, but huge in America. Now, I've been on Newcastle's website today. Obviously, the new store is there ahead of the big release of the replica shirts. I've bought a couple of shirts this morning, and I've also bought one of the caps because the caps are brilliant. And need I say, I got an email round about an hour after I'd ordered to say they'd been dispatched. Isn't that incredible? We're so used to Castor and waiting days on end for confirmation of the order, never mind the dispatch. But within an hour, I've had both a confirmation of the order and a dispatch. Incredible. So well done, Adidas. Already you've started off on the right foot. But look, this is going to be a huge money spinner for Newcastle United towards FFP, and that was what the report was stating this morning, that obviously it will be a massive money spinner. And, certainly some of the products that we've seen on the website already in the club shop are fantastic and very reasonably priced, given Castore's outrageous prices when they were running the things. But it's really started off on a real good feeling. It's a really good feeling that we're back with Adidas and things are going to be really, really good in the future. And, this is obviously going to help with FFP because it's another income. It's more revenue generated that we can spend on players, hopefully, in the future. So the partnership announced a new era. Pete Silverstone announced it, and it's going to be huge for Newcastle. These are a massive company for headwear, and it's, long may that continue for Newcastle United. But there you go. That is the news today. As usual, let me know in the comments what you think of some of the stories that we've touched on today. Don't forget to give it the thumbs up. And of course, if you're new and you like what you've seen, please do subscribe. Free to do so. But please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload like this or a live show. Now, if you're looking for the next live show, it is tonight. If you're watching this on Thursday, we have the big 30,000 subscriber celebration show. So we're going to have a bit of fun. Look at the highs and the lows of the channel over the short period we've been on. And of course, we'll bring you all the Newcastle United news as well. So it's going to be a great show, so don't miss that. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a cracking rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you soon. Take care.